I think you completed the operators.
Yes, today we would like to go for start the control statements in Python programming language, right? So a control statements means it's a very simple thing. Before that one, we should open our Anaconda Navigator. We will try to be go for understand each and everything again on Jupyter. Some examples so that you can easily understand. Okay. Okay. Let's start recording. So let's go for launch the Jupyter notebook. Okay, so let's go anywhere. Just Arvindo. That's fine. So let me go for create the new Python file, and we would like to try to complete the control statements today and tomorrow session. Okay, please be available in the session. So it's a very important things, guys. So 25th.
At the time, 7 or 7:30.
7:30 of CST.
7:30 of CST. Okay, thank you.
I think you're waiting for us. Waiting from the 7 o'clock onwards. Okay, so let's go for understanding the Python control statements. So before we start about the control statement, other stuff, let's talk about statements. Okay, so statements means in a programming language, any programming language, statements means whatever the instructions which can be executable, right? Whatever the instructions which can be executable in a program. Okay, in a program. That's fine. So let's go for understand what exactly the program. Program means you already know that it's a collection of statements, right? So collection of what? Collection of statements in a file. So collection of statements to do a specific task actually. Okay, by CPU, whatever it is. See, when we are collecting a lot many statements in one particular file, then how that particular program can be executed. So guys, if you want to understand the Python control statements, we should know how the Python program execution, how the flow of execution of the program. Okay, execution of the program. So how the program can be executed? Can anyone tell me? The program can be executed statement by statements. So statement by statement, if one statement execution is done, then it will be go for second statement actually. That way the program can be executed from top to bottom. Is it clear? Now here the control statements are comes to the picture. Control statements are comes to the picture. So control statements means we can change the flow of execution of the program. Okay, we can change the flow of execution of the program. We can change the flow of execution of the program, that we are calling it say control statements. See, there are plenty of so there are many multiple control statements are there. From that one, the first one is the conditional statements. Conditional statements. Conditional statements in the sense the statement's execution is depending on the conditions. And the second one is the looping statements. Looping statements in the sense some group of statements are single statements. We can change, we can execute multiple times. Okay, even conditional statements and looping statements also we can change the flow of execution. Okay, so control keywords. So there are different kind of control keywords are there. With the help of those things we can change the flow of execution of the control statements again. This is what different kind of control statements are there. Let's go for understanding the conditional statements. So let's go for understanding conditional statements. So conditional statements means it's a very simple thing. the execution of single statement or multiple statements or group of statements or block of statements can be depending on condition, can be depending on the condition. See here, whether it is a single statement, whether it is the multiple statements or group statements or block of statements, whatever it is, those execution is depending on the condition. Those statements we are calling it, say, conditional statements. Clear, right? Okay, so there are different kind of conditional statements are there. From that one, the first one is the simple if. Second one is the if and else. Third one is elif later, and the fourth one is nested if. Like we have the four type of conditional statements are there. Let's go for understand one by one. So coming to the simple if means it's a very simple thing actually. So there we have some kind of block of statements or single statements. There we have some kind of block of statements or single statements. This block of statements, we can't create the block in Python, so that the block of statement we should give you some space. So either block of statements, either one. Okay, so let me go for how we can create the block. I just want to write it actually. The block can be anything. The block which is started with the colon symbol, and the statements what we are writing inside of the block, make sure that we should have some space. Same amount of space we should maintain for the rest of the statements. Okay, same number of say like this we can write the multiple statements. Like this we can write the multiple statements or a number of statements. One more time guys, I just want to create the block of statements or group of statements or single statement as a block. Make sure that it should have a block name or block. Okay, a type of block, whatever it is, the block followed by the colon symbol. And so we don't have any kind of open braces and closed braces. So if you want to make it a block, so make sure that how many statements you're writing, which you should start with some space or tab space, and what space we mention here, same space you should maintain for the rest of the statements as well. Clear? Now you might be thinking, I just want to come out of this particular block, I want to write the statements outside of the block after this particular block. Then simple thing, we just remove that space and we can write the statement after the block. Okay, I mean we can write any statements. You just remove the space and we can write any statement that we can consider the after the block statements only. Okay, this is the way we can able to create the any kind of block in Python. Any more questions how we are going to be creating the blocks in Python? I hope so. No, right? Now just consider okay, so you have some particular block or single statement. This is my block of statements. B means block of statements. I want to go for execute this particular block of statements. So usually we can okay, so I just want to execute this particular block of statements, right? How we will do it actually? So this block of statements which is depending on the condition, right? Let me consider I want to implement the simple if. So here we have a condition. So this is the condition which is implemented by the programmer only. So this is the condition which is checking with help of the if keyword. If the condition what we are writing inside of the if this condition is true, then the corresponding statements can be executed. Okay, so after that one, whatever the statements you're writing after the block, those statements can be executed. Let me consider if in case my condition whatever you're writing inside of the if, this condition has been failed. If my condition is fail, whatever the statements we have inside of the block, it won't be executes directly, it will go for the out of that particular block only. This is a simple flow chart of this particular simple if, right? Now I want to implement the simple if for the syntax purpose. So let's go for syntax of the simple if. If followed by the condition, make sure that if is the keyword and followed by the condition. Okay, and if you want to create the block, we should use the colon symbol, and whatever the statements you want to be write it, and whatever the task you want to do up, if the condition is true, that particular task related statement you should write inside of the block. Okay, so I just want to be out of this particular block. Usually we can write any statement, you can write any statement after the block. Actually it doesn't have any kind of keyword to end this particular block. Okay, so this is the way we can write the some kind of task or block of statements in one particular block, and this particular block which related to if, but this is the statements can be executed if and only if this condition is true. If and only if this condition is true, then only the block of statements can be executed. Okay, if the condition is true, then only block of statements can be executes. Okay, block of statements can be executes. Clear, right? Yep. Let's go for write a small program for understanding this one. Write a program. So here the program is, so I just started a one particular shop. Okay, so every week, every day, okay, they are visiting their shop. Actually in a day one, in a week, the week which is having the 6 days, right? In a week, day one, in a day one, his number of customers are, for example, that 45. Okay, in day two, he started new shop. Actually in day two he got 60. In day three, okay, so this is actually its observed values. Okay, 53. In day four, for example, 100. It's not like 100. For example, 48. In days 5, like this, there are only 5 days are there. Okay, 45, and this is 40, and this is 55. Okay, this is 50. See, 1 week which is having the 5 days, he's opened the shop only 5 days. Okay, this is actually is this is his real data. Okay, so he want to purchase the, okay, he want to purchase the he has the time limit for the Saturday and Sunday, right? So in a Monday again, 1 week is done, second week Monday he is trying to be, so his shop things are done. Actually all the things whatever we have in the shop, that all things are done. He want to buy the some new things, right? Because of whatever the things he buy before he started business. Okay, so in this during of this particular week that all things are done. Okay, he might be thinking that, so in a maybe if I open the shop in a Monday, okay, in a second week, so what are the things I should maintain and what could be the storage I should maintain, he might be thinking. Okay, so that time, based upon this particular uh, based upon this particular data, so what he can do actually, so in a, okay, so in a day 7 or second week, the second week, he can maintain the second week. Okay, he can maintain some kind of storage, right? So in a second week, in a daily, he's expecting, his second week is daily expecting, for example, 50. Okay, second week daily is expecting 15. So which is possible or not? Okay, if for example, so this expectation, is it really or not, that we have to figure out actually. So what we can do, we can maintain the week data. Okay, we can maintain the week or data. So the data which is 45 and 60 and 40 and 55 and 50. Okay, so this is okay. His expected thing is for example 50. Okay, so daily is expecting 50, which is true or not. If and only if it is true, then only I can maintain the storage. Okay, then only I can maintain the storage. So if my expected thing is equal to it's a sum of week by total, we have 5 days, right? Total we have a 5 days. Then yes, my assumption is my assumption is correct. So I need to maintain the so yes, your assumption is correct. So you should maintain 50 customers consumer things. Okay, consuming things. Okay, this is actually want to do it. Okay, then you can write some statement. Thanks for update. Okay, this kind of messages I want to be show it. If my expected thing is my observed thing is which is equal to my expected thing, then I have to maintain this. I have to show them this kind of message. So we can write some statement. Task done. Okay, so now we are executing, right? So here the week which is having the so you open the shop only 5 days. Okay, the average of this one is absolutely correct. It's a 50 only, because of if you do the average of this thing, you will be getting the, or else you might be thinking it's the length of week. Okay, length of week. So if you're getting any kind of things, okay, so this situation, my expected thing which is equal to the observed thing, so that you should maintain this particular thing. Okay, now for example, here we have the 58. This time you're not maintained. See, so here you might getting the so here the my observed thing is not exactly the 50. My observed thing is not exactly the 50. Okay, or else I have a question now. Here I have a question, because of without any raw thing, I just written this particular thing. You just maintain, these statements can be executed if and only if the condition is true. Okay, depends upon the problem statement, we should maintain this kind of logic. Okay, see here, your expected thing is 50. Okay, my observed thing is more than the 50, right? Actually your expecting is which is lesser than your observed thing, right? That means you're not maintaining the proper goods, right? You're not maintaining the proper goods. So based upon that question, I can write one more time the same logic. Okay, if my expected thing is my expected thing is less than or equal to, if my expected thing is less than or equal to, okay, my observed thing, then only I can maintain the consumer things. Okay, for example, my expected thing is, your expectation is for example 100, but you're already having the 50 people, 50 people consumer things. Okay, that is exactly absorbing from the last 1 week. Okay, but you're expecting for example, if you're maintaining the goods for the 100 people. Okay, but your every day the people are coming to your your shop, it's only 50 average. So this time you don't need to maintain. Okay, you already maintaining the 100 people goods, 100 people daily, 100 people consuming goods. Okay, but your observed thing is just 50 50 50 only, or it's a your average thing is not even 50, right? So that means what, you don't need to maintain the things actually. Okay, I hope you got my question. So this kind of situations, this kind of situation, we can use the simple if. But here we just try to observe here 5 and 6 statements or the block of statements. It can be executed if and only if the condition is true. Otherwise, it cannot be executed. This is fine. Now, if you want to write one more program, write a program. Find the area of circle when radius is less than or less than 20 meters. So if the radius is less than the 20 meters, then only should find the area of the circle. Okay, so that I should take the radius from the user. Okay, enter radius in meters. Now you are going to be checking my radius is the less than the 20, then I should go for find the area of the circle. So what could be the formula for area of circle? It's a pi r square, right? So you don't have the value of the pi, so that it's a 22 by 7. Okay, so pi r square, so r power of 2, so this is the way we can able to find the area. So I just want to be, initially my area is, I'm considering the 0 or none. Let me consider it's a none. Okay, I would like to update the area if my radius is less than 20. So I should write the print statement after the if. Okay, so I should find the area, I should print the area. So for example, you enter the radius is the less than the 20. For example, 18 is the less than the 20, right? So that you can able to find the area, you're printing the area, right? For example, you enter the radius is more than the 20, for example 21. So area you're not calculated, that means this is the sixth statement has been, which is not been executed. The reason is that here the condition what we writing inside of the if, which is not yet executed. So this is the condition is fail, so that the statements what we written inside of the block which was not executed, because of that one, the statements what we writing inside of the block, it was not executed, so that you're not printing the area with the calculations, which is just printing the default value. Okay, so in this example, in this particular example, what exactly you understood, here we have some kind of group of statement or single statements. It can be executed if and only if condition is true, otherwise it cannot be executed. Okay, now the second type of conditional statement is if and else. If and else in the sense, maybe some situations, okay, maybe some situations you have two tasks are available, task 1 and task 2. There is two tasks are there. So task 1 can be executed, if condition is true. If condition is false, then so task 2 can be executed. So how can you say that, how can you write the statements if the condition is false? I need to be execute some statements, then you should write those statements inside of the else block. So here if and else are the keywords. Here what we should write, actually we can have two tasks are there, but from this particular two tasks you're going to be executing only one, and both are depending on the same condition. If condition is true, I can performing the one task. If the condition is false, I can go for performing the another task. Actually, clear or not? So this kind of situations we can able to go with if and else. So now what I would like to do, the same program, previous program only, expected thing and the observed thing from the new business, okay, problem. So here I just want to write the same program. So here, yes, your assumption is correct. So you should maintain the, okay, you should maintain the your assumption. enter your expected value. Expected value. Okay, your expected value, which is less than the average of your daily customers visiting to your business. If this condition is true, okay, so if this condition is false, then what you should do? So here, this your expected thing is more than your observed thing. That means your business is low actually. Okay, but you're having already goods are available. Then these situations, your assumption is wrong. Your assumption is wrong. So you don't need to maintain the don't need to maintain the goods. Okay, this kind of message I want to display it. For example, your average, my expected thing is, for example, in a week, for example 50. Yes, your assumption is correct, so you should maintain the things actually. Same thing. Okay, you're expecting, for example, 100 people, but actual thing is that just weekly 5 days on 550 daily 50 people only they are visiting. Average thing is it's a 50, but your expected thing is 100, right? Those the condition is false, so that your assumption is wrong, so you don't need to maintain the goods inside of your shop. Okay, so here we have the if and else is there. This is the two things are depending on the same condition. If this situation, if this condition is true, whatever the statements you're writing inside of the if, it can be executed. If this condition is false, that situation only else block can be executed. Okay, from this two, it can be executed only one. Clear? So this is what a if and else. Now we have the third one is elif later. Elif later, in the sense you might have the multiple conditions and multiple tasks are there. Let me consider I have the condition 1 and you might have the task 1. Okay, so now we have the condition 2. So you have the condition 2. That condition 2 also I should write the inside of the elif. We have the elif block is there. So here what exactly the elif block is doing, I can explain you. So this is the way you might have the multiple single if. After this if, we have the elif and followed by the condition, and like this you might have the thousands or a number of conditions are there. Okay, this is the way you might have a lot of elifs are there. At end we have the else is there. At last we have the else is there. Okay, this is again optional block. So this is again optional block. Careful observe here. So in this situation, you have the task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4, task 6, 5, 7, and so on. We have the number of tasks are there. This all tasks are, from this all tasks, it will go for executing only one task actually. Okay, but how we are going to be deciding which task is executing or which tasks are not executing? The first priority is the task 1. So it will go for checking this condition 1. If this condition is true, so this corresponding task can be executed. By the time even we have the rest of the conditions are true, it won't be go for check actually. Okay, once one condition is true, the corresponding task can be executed and it will be come out from that particular block. This is exactly elif ladder is doing. For example, my condition 1 is false, so that it will be go for second condition. If the second condition is true, the corresponding task can be executed. Whatever the conditions we have after the elif, it won't be executes. Okay, it won't be go for executes. If and only if the condition 2 is false, then only it will be go for condition 3. So this is the way stepwise it will be go for checking the condition. Once the condition is true, it will stop execution, or it will be go for stop the checking the other conditions it will come out that particular block once it is execution is done. Okay, this is simply elif ladder syntax. Okay, so just to understanding the program, write a program, find the grade or salary level based on salary range. Okay, so you're working in as a HR recruiter, okay, HR manager. Okay, you have to give it the salary level based upon the salary range. That's your question. So this situation, what you should do actually, we would like to take the salary from the user or HR, whatever it is. Okay, so take it employee salary. Okay, you're going to be fixing your salary level. Enter employee salary. Okay, so this time you enter the salary, right? If the salary is, if the salary is, which is greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to, for example, $10,000. Okay, so your level is, so you are in manager level. Okay, project manager. Salary range is, salary range is what? Project manager level. Project manager level. Okay, for example, if the salary is not more than the $10,000, maybe your salary is in between uh 80,000. Okay, more than 80,000. If the salary range is, it's a more than $80,000. Okay, so I would like to go for giving the salary ranges. For example, team lead level salary range is team lead level. Okay, for example, your salary range is, even the salary range is not greater than the $8,000, maybe his salary is more than the $5,000 or $6,000. Okay, so you can say that senior salary range is senior software engineer, just for assumption, senior software engineer, software engineer, senior software engineer level. Okay, so for example, his salary is not even greater than $6,000 per month. Okay, maybe his salary is more than $5,000, then it means that is the salary range is software engineer level. It's not senior software, it's just a software engineer. Okay, just for assumptions purpose I'm writing this thing. For example, is not even greater than $5,000, it was less than the $5,000, then you would like to go for print the your salary range is entry level. Salary range is entry level or else junior software engineer. Like, just I'm just writing the multiple elifs inside of the if and else, but from this all, so I'm just giving the range of the salaries, for example 12,000. So 12,000 is, it's greater than 10,000 and greater than or equal to 8,000 and greater than or equal to 6,000, greater than or equal to 5,000, right? But once the condition is true, the corresponding task can be executed. Says the task was done. After that one, what statement we have it or what conditions we have it, it won't be go for executes. It won't execute at all. Clear or not? Clear, right? So for example, same program, you'll just give you a different value. This time I just enter the, okay, 8500. 8500 is not greater than or equal to 10,000. So this condition is false. That's the reason it will be go for checking this condition. Yes, this condition is true, so the corresponding task, whatever we have it, it was executed. This is the way it will be go for executing the, or it will be go for executing this particular elif later. For example, I just entered the 4000. 4000 is, mhm, 4000 is, which is less than this one, less than this one, less than this one, less than this one, right? If and only if all conditions are fails, then only the else block can be executed. This is the way the elif ladder can be performed. Clear? From the conditional block, we have the last but not least, which is the nested if. Nested if means we can write the blocks inside of the block. That's it. So you have one particular block, we can write the one more block inside of the block. So let me consider this is my outer block. Okay, this is my outer block, and I want to write the block inside of the block. You can write the statements. We can write the statements, and after that one again we want to write one more block. So the block we should okay, I just want to come out of this particular outer inner block, then make sure that it should be same line on the block. This is the way we can write the one block inside of the another block. So as of now we seen the if, elif, if and else, and elif later, right? So we can make it combination of we can have the multiple combinations we have it. Might be the if block may contains the if, may contains the if, or else if may contains the if and else, if may contains the if and else, or else if may contains the elif later. Okay, meanwhile you have the else block, right? So maybe else also can be contains the simple if, or else also can be contains the if and else, or else also can be contains the elif later. Okay, meanwhile we already know that elif, right? In the inside of the elif later, okay, so we can may contains the if, you may contains the if and else, you may contains the elif later, you may contains the elif later. So which means that there are 9 combinations we have it. So but the syntax could be same. There is no difference in the syntax. So now write a program, find the biggest number, write a program, find the biggest number from 3 numbers. So you have the 3 numbers are there. From this particular 3 numbers you want to find the biggest number. Okay, so n1, n2, and we have the n3. Okay, so first what I do, okay, for example, n1 is 10, and for example n2 is 20, and n3 for example 13, right? Okay, this time I can able to go for checking the n1 and n2, n1, n2. So if n1 and n2, if I compare, maybe n1, maybe n2 is greater than the n1, right? That situation I can able to go for check the n2 versus n3, n2 versus n3. So if this condition is true, which means that n3 could be the, n3 is big number, so you can able to go for print the n3 value. Okay, for example the internal condition is false, then we can able to write the, so here n2 is bigger than the n1, but here this condition is false, which means that n2 is bigger than n3, right? So n2 is greater than the n1 as well as n3 also. So that's the reason we can write the else block. So n3 is big, so you can write the, or we can print the n2. Okay, let me consider. This is the block only, the first block only false. If my first if block is false, then we can write the else inside of it. So if this condition is false, which means that n1 is greater than the n2, n1 is greater than the n2. That situation I can compare the n1 versus, for example, n1 is 100. Okay, so I can try to be compare n1 versus n3. So n1 greater than n3. This situation I would like to go for print the n3 value. N3 is big, n3 is big, so you can print the n3 value. For example, the condition is false, the internal condition is false, that means n3 is not greater than the n1, that means n1 is greater than n3, right? These two situations, okay, the condition is n1 is greater than the n3 as well, so that situation n1 is big than the n1 is bigger than the n3, so which means that big is n1. So this is the way we can able to go for so here n1 is the bigger, right? So we can have the multiple options, we can try with multiple values. So for example, n2 is bigger than the rest of the two. So this situation I would like to go for the n3 is bigger than the, okay, so you can write anything. So whichever the value is the big, then that corresponding value can be a print. Okay, so this is, guys, this is about elif ladder as well. Okay, so for today's session I just explain only conditional statements, if else, elif ladder and nested if. Okay, we can go for practice these examples for this particular class. Okay, but tomorrow we will start the control statements. Once the control statement is done, then I just give you some examples or some assignments. So before that one, we can practice whatever I explain you in the session. Okay, bye guys, see you, take care. Hello. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye.